All right, it's your girl Destiny. I am the host of Play Your Cards Right, the platform to empower. And on this beautiful Sunday, I am so excited to present my beautiful cast. This is the cast, the one and only cast. And thank you for being the first to grace your presence on this platform so we can have a thought-provoking convo. Hello, everyone.
Hello. What's up,
y'all?
What's up, everybody?
All right, so today we're getting into a juicy topic, social media. So today's episode is social media one-on-one, and you know how we do on Instagram Live. My Instagram Live, follow me on I am your Destiny and Play Your Cards Right _. We get into a game to shake the nerves off a little bit, and then we get into the conversation. So the name of this game, you know, we support and root for everybody Black as per Issa Rae. And the owner of Lyrically Correct, who's also a childhood friend of mine, graced me with these cards. And we're going to get into Lyrically Correct really quickly. So who's ready? Y'all ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. So we all come from the hip hop and R&B era. I'm going to read the card and you have to fill in the blank. Okay, and that's the name of the game. And if you guys need any games to play, make sure you shop on lyricallycorrect.com so you guys can enjoy your game night as well. So let's start. What does Boyz II Men want you to do after you close your eyes and make a wish?
I'll make love to you.
How is that feel like close your eyes?
There you go.
You got to blow out that candle. You got to blow out
Yeah. Definitely have to blow out the candles before the love maker.
You got to blow out the candle.
Blow out the candle. Come on, ladies. They got one up. That's one up. That's one zip.
Damn.
Come on, ladies.
Wait, I thought Cuzzo answered that question first. I thought you answered that.
No, she started singing the tune. She didn't get the line.
Do this with me and Mass. Y'all, come on.
All right. That was a warm-up, Jess. Let that be a warm-up. That was a warm-up.
All right. So this is round one. How did Carl Thomas know it was love at first sight?
Damn.
I know from the way she looked at me.
Yes, sis. Go ahead.
I never liked Carl Thomas.
Me neither.
I never liked Carl Thomas.
That's 1-1, right?
That's 1
up.
up.
We're gonna do two more for the sake of timing. Only 2 more, so that's 1-1. We gotta give them that. All right. That was way too easy. Danae and Pat, Toya, let's go. Maz, let's go.
I know.
You ain't say no rap songs.
Let me get
you ain't say no rap songs. I never really was.
I know. No, I got the rap right now. I got you. What could Little Kim make disappear in her mouth?
Oh, okay.
I can make
the dessert.
Oh my God! It's Sprite can.
That's
Sprite
dope.
can.
It's definitely
I can make a Sprite can in and that. Hey.
See, y'all lost me. I said a Corona bottle. I didn't know.
So many other things popped up in my head, and it wasn't the Sprite can. That's a fact.
Yo, Lil Kim was different. Lil Kim was ahead of her time.
Yo, listen, everybody that was
I'm gonna play your cards. I want to say hello.
Hi, Auntie.
Hey, Auntie.
Hi, family. All right, last question. How long does Zayn want the DJ to play that song?
All night.
Talking. All night.
Yo, I swear.
I think we tied up. I can't wait to do this in person.
Yo, I got stuck because I thought you were talking about Little Zayn. He never had a song like that.
Like who was Zayn?
Yo, I'm surprised you remember who Lil Zayn is.
It was Janae.
One mic.
Thank you, Cookie. I don't know what.
Yeah, it was.
I'm like, who that?
All right, guys. All right, so let's get into this conversation. Social media one-on-one. So when I brought this topic to the group chat, there was a comment. Mez, you can tell them how you felt about this, and then I'll go forward. about the topic, just social media in general, the do's and don'ts, one-on-one. How did that make you feel when you see that?
It's subjective. I mean, everybody has their own bylaws to their relationship, right? Like some people are super conservative, some people are super liberal, swingers, orgy people. Some people are friends, some people are businesses. Like, so that's a complex thing. Like,
okay, so that's why I've curated some questions to navigate the conversation a little bit. So I'll start off with, if anyone could describe the basics of social media, like driving one-on-one, right? What is the basics of social media and what is the purpose of social media? Being that we all come from an era before social media was curated, what does social media mean to you?
Me?
And how do you use it?
Who's that question for? Everybody says?
Yes.
Well, who wants to go first? It doesn't matter.
My hand is raised. Oh.
All right. She put the hand raised too. I haven't heard her.
So I feel like with me in the beginning, social media was like an outlet for me because I didn't have people I could talk to. So like every aspect of my life became a part of social media. If I was going through something with a guy, it was on there. If I was going through something with a friend, it was on there. But as I've gotten older, it was it's more so about my business. It's more so about me promoting who I am as a business, as a mom, as a person. And I think that in life, people tend to think that you're supposed to have different social media for different things. And I just think that one social media just shows different aspects of who you are as a person. So that's how I feel.
Next, that's a great point. Thank you again for your vulnerability.
I'll go. So social media to me, to piggyback onto what was that, Cookie, or that was Cookie, right? To piggyback kind of what Cookie was saying. Honestly, when I started the whole social media, my day was MySpace. And when I started Facebook was when it was only college kids. So honestly, it was really about connecting with your friends from school, from high school, people that you haven't seen in a long time. It just so happened throughout the years, it has broadened to where you can now use it as a marketing tool. You can use it as, like Cookie said, a way of communicating people that you haven't seen or spoken to in years. But I'm one of those people that feel like, if you have a business, you definitely should separate your business from your personal page. My personal page, I always put my kids up. Not right now. Yes. I'm sorry, guys. I always put my kids up. But then I have a business page for my prison van service because I just don't want people to know that I'm the face of that company. I don't want people to know that these are my children. You understand? So I balance it in different ways. I feel like people could use it in so many different ways. Go ahead, go.
Great answer. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll take. Oh, okay. I'll take the mic. If that's right. So for me, social media, as we mentioned, it started off because I'm a designer, right? So that was my way of showing my pieces. And I love to dress. So that was a way of me showing my outfits, and so that I can sort of stamp myself as the girl that definitely knows what she's talking about, because my business focused a lot on helping, guiding people and understanding what their clothes mean to them and things of that nature. So, you know, it started off with you having to be the word of the truth. Like if you preach it, you know, you follow what you preach, kind of thing. So social media kind of started that way for me, like showing my outfits of the day, showing all of those things, so that if I talk to you about fashion, it wasn't because it wasn't from a place of a lack of knowledge, because I've been in the industry of fashion for over 25 years. So it was that was what it was for at first for me. But like Miss B just said, I didn't realize that I had to kind of separate it, because there were those days and those nights that I wanted to hang out and I couldn't show certain things online, which it felt like it was stifling me. So if I'm hanging out with a bunch of my friends and we're drinking and we're wilding, then I can't put that out there as I'm putting out that this is my business and this is what I design and this is what I sell. So, you know, didn't want people to perceive the two. I only learned how to separate those right now, to be completely honest. And that's years after. So my page is flooded with everything, but learning how to separate the two so that people can take me serious on this end, but then yet know a little bit more about Latoya on that end. So right now, that's really what social media is for me. But at first, it just was to show that if I talk about it, it's because I'm about it. So that was how I first used social media for myself.
Okay. Marketing. Got it.
Piggyback
Pat,
on
I think Pat, you wanted to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. I mean, like, first and foremost, I don't do no social media. I don't got no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, nothing. And more or less, people use that as a whole different dynamics. Like, if it's your business, keep your business and your personal life totally off on a different page. You know what I mean? Like, that's where the whole disconnect come in. Because people look at, well, what they posted on a personal page, and then when they try to do something with their business, a lot of marketing people look at that. So that right there put a whole crutch. And I feel your personal life is your personal life. So me personally, I don't have no social media. If it ain't World Star, I ain't looking at it.
World Star. Now that's a great point. People, misuse and abuse certain platforms, and we're gonna get to that. Anyone next?
Yeah, to piggyback on what Miss B said, like social media started out as something different because we all come back from it was instant messaging. It was IM. Then I think it went to MySpace, then Facebook, then and Twitter. We can't forget about that. So the more it's grown, and it mushroomed into this whole www is World Wide Web. It's literally a World Wide Web, and it mushroomed into this thing. And I think it's important that we got to keep in mind that we mushroom with it. As it grows, we must grow.
Oh, okay. I was
Wait,
ready.
I
don't want to be long-winded, but as it grows, we must grow. So you got to keep in mind that it was one time it was Facebook, a place for friends and family. It was like, but now it's on Instagram, you can communicate with celebrities, like literally at the push of a button, and you can communicate with these people at the push of a button. So you got to keep this stuff in mind. Like you said, regarding your relationship, regarding your personal life, regarding your business, all of this stuff is real, and we got to grow with social media.
I feel like from an entertainer perspective, and I'm probably the person that's mostly out there entertaining wise. How can I say it? I tried to separate my life. I have 3 pages. I have Everybody Hates Cookie 17. That's the main page that I started whenever. And then I have Comedian Cookie page, and I got the Acrimony Tea page. So I created the Acrimony Tea page when I was in my relationship, before I got married, because my mentor at the time, Capone, wanted me to separate my personal from my business. And my husband at the time, he didn't like it. He was like, why I gotta be hitting and this, that, and the third? And I'm like, it's not that you be hitting, they just certain people watch. But I find that people are gonna find your personal life anyway. So me, I live my life how you see me. This is me. And I don't hide behind it. I don't, I don't run from it. This is who I am. So when people say keep your personal life personal and your business, it's hard, because if somebody really hates you, they're gonna find out your personal business. So I put it out there so that it's already, you ain't gotta look for it. It's right there. Like when my tooth was missing, that was out there, because you're not gonna clown me on it. I'm gonna clown you before you clown me. So like that's why like a lot of people don't understand why I'm the way I am. That's why, because I'm
like an open book. Sorry, y'all. I live my life like
that's just who I am.
No, I love that, because you touched on so many different points that we're going to get into in regards to pros and cons, which is the next question, in regards to how it affects relationships, in regards to privacy breaching, and same thing that Ron touched on and Pat touched on. So I think that Jamez didn't go.
Yeah. Again, it's a subjective thing, right? There are people in this world that's really, really depressed, right? And really lonely, and really don't have nobody to reach out to or be in contact with, right? So social media might affect them because it gives you fake friends, so to speak, right? I come online with a post, I think Des hair is ugly, and then I get a person from Nebraska and a person from California, And then in that, I might can vent and might help me, right? Me personally, I'm one of those that agree that you keep your real life out of the world, because once you put your real life into mainstream, you give people the opportunity to opinionate on your real life, right? So if my mother is really sick and she's really dying, right, and I go to Facebook with that, damn, my mother on a respirator, she got 2 days, and some clown gets on there and say, good for her, right? I gotta take some accountability for that because I put that out there. And me and my wife is going through a hard time, right, which most marriages do, or relationships, etc. And I go in and put that out there, then I give the world the opportunity to have an opinion on that. So and my social media is really fluff, politics, sports. I might find something funny that I want Gunner to see and I'll put it up. But my children, my family, my aspirations, I believe that you let your actions show in those, right? So the people that count know the father I am. The people that count know the husband I am, the son, the friend. That's really not for Billy Joe Smith from Tennessee that I will never interact with in real life.
So this is a real conversation, and then I want Danae to go next. So I'll ask you: is it overdoing it? Like for someone like me, I'll use me as an example. I love to put my children on social media. Is that something where you feel like, to your point, I don't need to post my children, I don't need to post my wife XYZ, because the people who really know me know I'm a good father, or the people who really know me know, how great of a relationship we have, and I post my children personally just because I love taking pictures and I love creating memories and journeys. And that's another thing that Facebook does for you, or Instagram does for you. I get memories all the time from those platforms, and I would never remember those moments if it wasn't for those reminders, if it wasn't for me posting. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, in my opinion, that comes down to parental prerogative, right? Like, we all have a different bylaw. We all have a different standard of the way we live, right? Some people are shy, some people are outgoing. Me, I'm extremely talkative, right? So I could be in the middle of 42nd Street in a snowstorm and find something to debate about, right? Some people are not good speaking publicly at all. So I don't think it's a right and wrong question or a yes or no question. It's what benefits you, what you're comfortable with,
right?
What, because it's lack of and both sides. Like me, I'm not really sociable as far as my intimacy on social media. So the downside is I could be really going through something and you don't know it because I'm not posting it, right?
All right.
On the other hand, right, you show on your kids and stuff, and then your kid picture end up on a porn site. That's the downside of, so it's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah,
I must agree with that one.
Danae, let Danae go. Thank you.
Yeah, he's right about what is pros and cons about it. I have a situation. I had an example. I was on Facebook. What was it? Boasting about my husband, how much he does for me. I'm not working. How long we've been together. How he takes care of me. Just things like that. And a guy out of nowhere just came up there, was just calling me all kind of gold diggers and why don't you get up and go work for yourself and things like that. I couldn't understand why he was attacking me. But come to find out, of course, he know nothing about me. But my thing was like, you don't know me, so why would you attack me like that? So you're right about the pros and cons. It could either be a good thing or a bad thing from it. So I do agree with that as well.
Can I get the mic?
Yes, I see your hand, Toya. Sorry, thank you.
No, it's all right. So with that, I feel like if you, just like Jamez was saying before, like you have to really know who you are off the rip, right? You have to know if you definitely have tough skin or soft skin, right? Because just in general, you could even walk in the street and somebody could clown you if they feel like it. If they feel like, remember when everybody came up with, what are those, right? Like you wearing something that you might feel is the perfect thing, but if someone else says it, it makes you second guess yourself. So when it comes to social media, it really is just social opinion. It's an opinion that is now mediarized, it's put for everyone to see, like you turn on a television. So you have to know your skin, right? So if you decide to put a picture of your child up you have to know if you're gonna take whatever someone has to say. They could be like, damn, that's an ugly ass baby. Or they could be like, wow, your child is beautiful, right? So when it comes to that, I was really picky with at one point I had my page private. But then I'm like, damn, Toya, you out here trying to promote a business, you got your page private, no one's gonna really see what you're doing. So I decided to put my page public. Mm-hmm. And then when putting my page public, that's what then made me second guess whether I was gonna put my daughter up, put my mother up, put my sister up, put my dad up, put anybody up, because now everybody knows them, but they don't know who knows them. So that became an issue for me. If anybody followed me, I'm the investigation girl. I want to know how you found my page, who you linked to, where you from, what your page look like. Like, I do all of that. My sister was like, well, damn, Toya, what's the point of you having social media if you want to become a private investigator with everything? I'm like, you know what? So now with that being said, I didn't want to make them a victim in a sense, right? Because people really feel like they know you because they follow your page. They feel like they know everything about you. They can walk up, hey, Toya, I'm sorry, do I know? I follow you on Instagram. Okay, your name is, right? So I had to really figure out what kind of skin I was going to have in the game with what I put up on social media. And so knowing that, the same way if anybody were to approach me in the street, if I'm just, you know, like a duck, let it go fall off my back, I had to come with the same type of skin when I started to put things on social media. So that's my opinion when it comes to when you start to expose your family and all that. Know what kind of skin you have. Because if you're the type that's on site, if anybody says anything to you, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because that means at all times you got to be gloved up because somebody's going to say something.
Right.
That's just me.
I have a true situation that happened with that. And Destiny, you know about that situation where my daughter, like I said in the beginning, my daughter video, she had sent the video to her sister. She has younger sisters. And she sent this video. She was like 3 years old. And she was like, you don't know who Shenora is. This is what you do. This is what you do. Talk. Mind your business. To me, the video was hilarious. To other people, it was hilarious. But once somebody tagged the Shade Room, then somebody tagged KristenMingles.com, somebody tagged all of the bloggers. And even like celebrities retweeted her post and was like, yo, this baby is 3 years old and she got it down packed. She let God know I got business. And it was a T for me, but it was the comments underneath it. And it was, I wonder where she get that from. Her mother this and her mother that. And me being who I am, I'm such a confrontational person. I'll argue with God if you let me. And I was arguing with people. And then I had to take a step back. Who am I arguing with? Who are these people? These people don't know what type of mother I am. People don't know. I said, then I went live and I said, listen, the baby said something that people need to do every day. Mind your business. Period. That was her message. Mind your business. She wasn't only popping her butt. She wasn't cursing. She wasn't snapping her neck. She wasn't doing anything. She was just telling people mind her business. And that's when I learned that no matter what you do, good or bad, someone's going to have something negative to say. Mm-hmm. No matter how good of a parent you are, how good of an entertainer you are, how good of a person you are, how good your brand is. People are going to find something negative to say. You have people that sit at home and troll on Instagram. I was getting bullied. I was getting bullied as an adult from my ex's family. Bullied. Like every day new fake pages. Every day messages under pictures, miles long.
Wow.
So that's where the toxicity comes in, that we don't need, especially in regards to our mental health. Thank you, Cookie, for sharing that. And I remember Zoe being reposted by the celebrity male influencer Zoe, because he usually does the videos that, he picks random videos of young children.
Oh, no, yeah.
He puts it on FaceTime and like replies to the child, and Zoe were in the video together. It was, for me, it was cute as well, but people are very nasty. So yeah, I can imagine the heat that you caught under the Shade Room comments, but I'm glad you were able to double back. Ron, you had your hand up. Let's go, Ron.
I don't think you know how to take it down.
Oh
no, that was from my last.
Oh, the last one.
I don't know how to take it down. That was from the last
I'll lower it.
But
Okay,
no,
so let's
also
go.
like Cookie went through.
Mhm.
I didn't understand the power of social media, man. Like social bullying is serious stuff. Because I grew up in a time, you know, I'm from the 90s. So I grew up, social media was not around. And you do something wrong, you know, you go to school and then, you know, your class teases you. Now, these days, you make a mistake, you'll go from one class to the next class and the whole world will know, literally. And I didn't understand the impact of it until I really sat back and thought about it. And I said, like, social bullying is real stuff, especially for children, because us as adults, we have an issue with it. So could you imagine being a kid, you know, a teenager, you know, you lose the fight and they scream out world star, you know, you go to your next class and literally the whole world knows about you losing one fight. This could damage you internally. So the power of social media is very serious. And like I said, we have to grow with social media. You got to understand the monster and the machine that you're dealing with when you step into that world. And like Latoya said, you got to put on your rhino skin if you're going to deal with the rest of the world.
The rhino skin. I love it. So I think we addressed literally the next question, which was the pros and cons. We spoke about that and we'll continue to speak about that throughout the conversation. But that was a perfect segue, Ron, because I want to speak to how it influences the Generation Z's, their mental health. And are we setting rules for our children's usage when it comes to screen time and when it comes to social media? So if any of you watch Netflix's The Social Dilemma, it basically highlighted former directors and executives who worked at Pinterest, Google, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And they were saying how dangerous social media has become because they literally make these notifications and make these tags and all these features to addict us and to make it addictive, especially for the younger children. To your point with the whole World Star example, it affects them differently. We didn't have to go through that growing up. And lastly, they were saying that they give their children screen time. Now, these are people who were in those buildings and helped build these platforms. They said that they look at their children's phone or tablet and they observe how much screen time they use during the day, which made me think like, wow, I don't do that. I need to start implementing that. So let's speak to that.
Me?
Yeah,
Mads, okay.
Well, one, my idea is parenting is up to the parent, right? So when I was growing up, I didn't have social media, but we had distractions, you know. I wanted to stay outside till 9 o'clock. I wanted to go to the pool in Kingsbridge. I wanted to go to the house party in Brownsville, right? And some of us did and some of us didn't, right? So me having children, I don't leave it up to the world to raise them, right? I can't stop the world from influencing them because they're in the world, right? But it's my job to raise them. So screen time is definitely a good thing because you have to show them other, right? I have a nephew that he had the tablet and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and he's fine. Like his mother has to force him to go outside. Like he doesn't even go outside. Like it's insane, like, right? And to the bullying and things like that, again, this world, this time in the world, we put too much attention to things outside, right? It's like school. I send my children to school. I send my children to school mainly for structure, to be somewhere for 8 hours, no rules, boundaries, et cetera, except disappointment, wins. But education is up to me. So 4 times a week, every week, I sit down with them and we talk about things that matter because George Washington don't, in my opinion, right? We talk about how to do taxes, what income is, what asset is, what liability is, what being in the green means, what being in the red means, what bottom lines, et cetera, because these are the things that's going to shape them, especially being Black in this country, that I just don't trust society with.
So, love that. Great answer. Toya, you wanted to go next?
Yeah, I actually was I'm one of those parents that has screen time on her daughter's phone. She's 17 now, so I did this though. My daughter personally had a cell phone since she was like 8 years old. And that was because co-parenting wasn't something that I was the best at, right? I was one of those moms that honestly was really trying to still, even 8 years later, figure out why our relationship didn't work, right? And still was upset that it didn't work. So I went and I bought my daughter a cell phone so that her father didn't have to call my phone. So I didn't have to see his name pop up because I was kind of angry that it did not work out, right? He didn't live up to the expectations that I had, which is another thing that I hope one day we could talk about, expectations and just realistic things and how you can break your own heart. But that's another story. So I went out and I got her a cell phone, and she would go to like ballet class and all these different things. And I always wanted her to have contact with me. So having a cell phone was something she always had. But then, as you said, once she started to get on these different apps and I started to watch all these different shows, it talks about how, you know, people were getting to them when they shouldn't be able to get to them, and how long they were staying on the phone is when I looked and I investigated into what screen time was. It's something that you have to download on your phone. You've got to put your kids involved in it. So I put almost every app to track every action that my daughter did at one point, because I'm one of those type of parents. I know it's always something behind something, and I want to make sure I'm ahead of the curve.
So wait, you said you have apps to track? I need you to drop some of those apps.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the chat or...
So it's called Family 360, where everybody is on that app. You know where your kid is at all times. You have to, like, it's a conversation that you have to have with your kid, believe it or not, when it gets to a certain age, because it's that whole privacy thing. And that was the argument me and my daughter was going through, because I said to her, like, you don't have enough responsibility in life to have privacy. Not from your mother. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that I can't be knowing where you are and who you're talking to, and I can't check your phone and say, okay, it's phone check time. Like, let me see what you're doing. Let me see who you're texting. I'm going into every app. Like, I'm going. She's hating me, right? But I had to take that blow, because I would prefer the hate from me, than the loss of her, because of me trying to win this popularity parent contest, right? It's a time and a place for you to be popular with your kids, and it's a time and a place for you to be like the most hated parent in America, because you're on top of your parent. And I remember that from my mother. Like, damn, my mom's always on me, like, oh my God, I gotta go in the house. Like, my mom's calling me out the window. Like, everybody's like, you're sorry, your mother calling you out the window. Cookie could attest to that. Like, we be on the park side, and my mother's like, let's, oh yeah. And my mother's Trinidadian. So my mom beat my ass in front of everybody was not a thing, right? So I'm like, I'm not getting embarrassed like that. So I'm out of here. So I had to take some of those things that I know checked me, because I also had friends whose mothers didn't even know whether they was in the house or not when I called. Like, let me go see if she's here. Let me go see. Like, my mother, if I was in the bathroom, she fucking knew I was there. So you gotta let me go see if your kid is in the house. So for me, that screen time, I believe, saved my daughter's life for many different things. She'd be pissed. Like, she's looking at me right now. Like, she hated that screen time, but it didn't matter. I didn't care. You can hate all you want to, but I'm the parent. I'm paying the bills. When something happens to you, I'm the one who's going to have to bury you, because I decided to, like, be short of my parenting. That's how I feel.
Family 360, right? Let me let Ron go next, then you up, Cookie. Ron, was that hand up?
Yeah, that hand was up. Toya, you touched on everything. You done tore that up. Way to do that, sis. But I just wanted to piggyback on what Toya said. There's no such thing as privacy in your household as a parent. And I don't think there should be, because your kid doesn't do anything that requires privacy. And if you're doing something that requires privacy, then there's something wrong. And I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, I can attest to that. My daughter's only 6. She'll be 7 going on 17 in April. And she tries to close the door. And I'm like, Or already? We doing that? No. You don't close doors in this house. Go, Cookie.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Like in my house, like the only reason that Zoe door is closed right now because I'm sitting here talking to y'all.
Exactly.
But like I don't play. There is no clothes. I was raised like that, and my mom is still to this day. I'm 39. She'll still fuck me up respectfully. Respectfully, and Toya, you know that my mother will dead. Seriously, put hands and feet on me and don't care. But when I say that, you know what I mean? Again, like I say, I speak from experience. I work with middle school kids. I work with the elementary school, and now I work with in the daycare with babies. And I believe that screen time, and I think that people let social media, these apps raise their kids. Because I have kids in my group that I have a little. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't really like to talk about kids. Yes, I do. I'm sorry, y'all. Yes, the hell I do. I have kids in my group. They're 3 and 4. I had a little girl tell me, I want my tablet now. And I looked at her. You want your what? And she said, I want my tablet now. I said, what letter is this? She said, well, I said, spell your name. I'm petty. Spell your name. She couldn't spell her name. Then I got another little boy that he comes in there and he throws tables, he throws chairs, he's throwing things, and then he swung on me. I'm not that parent, I'm not that teacher, I'm not that parent. Baby. So like, and the only way you could calm him down is to give him a phone. No, that's not gonna work for me. He needs to sit down and learn. And I think that most parents now want to live their best life instead of taking time out living your kid's life. And don't get me wrong, I get caught up on working a lot that I'm, you know what I mean? I get caught up with being a provider. Because I can tell you, I'm a parent, but I'm not the loving, nurturing, come here, you fell, let's beat the ground. No, I'm the provider. I'm the get up, clean up. I'm gonna get this money. Oh, y'all need this? Or I need to work this job, and this job. But I had to take a step back because that's what's going on with my daughter. TikTok is raising my daughter. And she can know all the TikTok dances, but she lying to me about schoolwork. And we know I don't play about schoolwork. So when it becomes that thing, and I tell people this all the time, y'all let social media raise your kids. People don't understand when I'm saying that. Yes, these kids need set screen time. Right now, my daughter cannot touch her iPad. Right now, she won't get her iPad back until school is done.
I know that's right.
So like it becomes that situation where people don't understand the value of raising these kids, and these kids is growing up too fast.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Cookie. TikTok, my daughter doesn't even know how to TikTok, but she is addicted to this YouTube, and I had to like, you know, revoke the YouTube and add the YouTube kids, but I'm really starting to try to create more of a balance. But to your point, there's a lot of, you know, so it takes a village. So we need support as parents and as mothers so that we don't give the tablet away or the phone away so we can get some time. You know what I mean? Yes, fathers, parents in general. But yeah, but I don't want to be too long-winded because I want Danae and Brittany to go. Danae and Pat, and then Brittany.
Yes, I was also saying too because like with Makai, you know, he's already finished school. But Makai, my thing is, as long as he do good in school, he can have whatever he wants. The minute he start not skipping classes or up, there go the game. They go to phone. I start taking things away. So Makai and Naja been on the honor roll since they started school. Like right now, he wasn't be nominated. Was it next month? He's been on the A and B honor roll since he started school. So that as long as school's down, you can have whatever you want. The minute you start messing up at school, I start taking things away. No games, no TV, no weekend with your friends, or you can't drive the car. That's how we do it. And then when you want them things back, when you start earning them, that's when you start getting your things back. Other than that, school comes first and everything else comes after. So now we're on our second child that's about to graduate, and then we're going to the grandbabies.
I love that though, prioritizing education, because that's what I try to do. Like Ilana, the same method that Cookie uses. You want to do what? Can you read this book to me? Like education is key, it's priority. I love that.
Exactly, because we had Naja, like the way I taught it, the words they got from school, we had it all in this called All Around the Wall. All around the world.
That's a good idea.
We go across every day for an hour, go around the world. From the A's to the B's to the whatever homework they gave them, we staple it right to the wall. And every day we go through it. And that's how you stay on top.
I love that. Thank you for that, Jim. Ooh.
No, they just graduated with the baby on her hips. So yeah, you got it though.
Wait, Pat, did you have anything to add to that?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Brittany.
Sorry, guys, I had it on mute. Basically, everyone said all valid points, covered everything. As far as with my children, I have a 4 and 6-year-old. I learned now where I typically I stop the whole tablet, the iPad from Monday through Thursday. Thursday when you come home from school, Royal, you do your homework, then you have iPad. His whole issue is Roblox. That's my problem. He's a Roblox head. It's like I don't know. It's like a
For
kid in a
those
candy
who
store.
don't know, what's Roblox?
Oh, so Roblox is like Minecraft. They basically, it's like different obstacles where they are doing different challenges. For all I know, you got to be smart as hell. I don't do it. I don't have time. And my son is addicted to it. Like my daughter, she's a YouTube JoJo kid. She's all into the character Sophia. So I don't have pretty much too much problem when it comes to that. But also what Cookie said, when you acting up in school, and every other parent, when you acting up in school, you're not getting anything. What's your name? Spell your name. What's the ABCs? And Aspen, I have to get on her all the time because it's like, she don't want to learn. No, boo, we learning. Especially those 8 months where they shut everything down. I'm in PA, so I don't really know how things was working in New York, but we were shut down. And it was, the first week was hell. I went to Dollar Tree and bought all these books and alphabet coloring stuff to try to keep them interacting. Because I didn't go to school for teaching, for education. I went to school for business management, you know? And with that being said, it was hell. The first 72 hours trying to homeschool my kids. I'm like, oh, I'm not built for this. So yes, I have to. I was thanking God every day when they opened up the schools in July. My kids go to school all year round. So thank you.
Amen.
Amen. Praise Lord. I do a Holy Ghost dance every day. So, but I just say that to say, I definitely agree. And Destiny knows, she's a witness. She witnessed me getting my ass whooped when that report card wasn't right. Everything was taken away from me. It was no HSA. It was no beeper. It was no cell phone. It was none of that. It was no hanging out at Destiny house, no running around the East River, none of that, you know? And when I realized that I'm fucking up in school, it was like, oh no, I got to get on my shit because my mother is going to whoop my ass, even to all the way to college. Okay. My mother has come to Cheney University, and my dorm leaders is like, well, they call me Harlem in school. They like, Harlem, your mother downstairs. And my mother like, are you feeling, bitch? And I'm paying $700 a month. Pack up your shit. You're going to City College with the Dominicans. And I was like, no, please, just give me, I promise you, next semester I'm gonna get on my shit. No, bitch, pack your shit up. We going to City College with the Dominicans. I already registered you. And it was like, she taught me a lesson.
Tough love.
For a whole semester, y'all. City College. First, I went to CCP, Community College of Philadelphia. I hated it because I didn't have a car. The commute, buses, 45 minutes to an hour, every bus. I was stressed. So she taught me a lesson, but best believe when I got back to Cheney Grounds, I was coming home with a 3.8. Okay, she was like, okay, now you're talking. That's my 7. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
I wasn't really allowed to come home with, you know, she was a little lenient. I'll give it to you. You could have a C, 1C, but you got to get your shit. See, my issue, Destiny, always honorable. My issue, my conduct, this mouth, my attitude. Destiny was, don't front. You was there. You was on the honorable. And it was just me, my behavior. And my mother was a single mother, you know, so she wasn't having it. And she was a CO. She wasn't having it. So I was scared. I'm still scared. And I'm 34.
Listen, we have to all take a page out of Miss Wanda's book. Shout out to Miss Wanda.
Oh, please, Lord Jesus.
Because whatever she did, you are independent and you are one of the hardest working, resilient, diligent mothers that I know.
I'm trying.
So, congrats to you, babe.
I'm trying.
Mez, you had something to say?
Wait, Destiny, I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta exit. I love y'all, but I gotta get her ready to go to my brother's house.
All right, my love. Thank you
I
for
love
joining
y'all.
us. Hopefully
Nice meeting
next time
y'all.
you join
Nice
us
meeting you.
again.
Nice meeting
Thank you,
you.
Cookie, for those
All right.
gems.
No problem.
All right.
Cookie.
All right, Mez, you up.
Right. Respectfully, and this is to Danae, I pronounce that right, Darnea,
Mm-hmm.
right, and Miss B Point, right. I was valedictorian twice, leaving junior high school and graduating high school, right. And my parents, my authority, they preach the same things, right. Go to school, go to school, go to school, do good at school, get good grades. Good grades is what matters. Good grades are important. Good grades is the thing to do, right? And I say, I don't necessarily disagree with it. However, I think that it's got to be more than just good grades, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, the idea that you get good grades, you graduate high school, you go and get 4 years of college, 6, 8, however long you tend to stay, right? You leave there, you get a job, you work for 25 years now, you buy a house, you retire. That method is outdated, it's a relic, it's like dinosaurs, right? It just doesn't work, especially when you look like us. And I'm not saying that there aren't examples where it does work, but if you look at the overwhelming populace, it just fails, right? Another example, my son. My son is naturally an A student, natural. The boy wake up, he knows math, he knows civics, he knows how to read, he obtains information. My daughter, at her best, is a B student. Like if Naya gets a B, my daughter name is Shania, but if Naya gets a B, she bust her butt for it, right? And his authority outside of me, his mother, his aunts, et cetera, tells him the same thing. A's is all that counts. Good grades is all that counts, right? So disrespecting the teacher, being attentive, your arrogance, your misconduct, it all get washed away if you bring home an A, right? So my point is the civics, the civility is what garners success, right? Every successful person wasn't articulate or wasn't intelligent, that everyone knew how to function amongst people, how to deal in social settings, how to interact in business, how to make friends, right? So as a people, Black people, these are the things that we lack in. If you look at the penitentiary, it's people that brilliant, bro. I mean, I say that because I've been there, right? But brilliant people that just couldn't have the discipline not to shoot somebody else, right? You go under the bridges and into the alleys, into the dark side of society. Brilliant people there, educationally, but they just couldn't handle putting the needle in their arm. So it's not the lack of intelligence that we suffer from, right? It's the lack of discipline, of civility, of knowing how to conduct when things aren't going our way, right? Knowing how to articulate when you're upset. So those are the things, especially with our children, that we have to instill. And by no means is I'm saying negate or throw education out the window, right? But that is not a priority for us. Because again, knowing who George Washington was and him cutting down an apple tree does nothing in society. Nothing. It doesn't correlate, right?
Yeah, I think that those are great points, especially those attributes you mentioned like discipline, and I think we would all agree with you. But in society, school is important, and you have to go to school. Like parents will go to jail or catch a case if their children don't attend school. So I think that that was just a statement that was made to help shed light on the importance of being able to be disciplined enough to finish school and to finish your homework and to make sure you finish all of your assignments and do well on your tests. That also is a part of discipline, finishing school and being able to be attentive in school. That's discipline.
Actually, yeah, definitely. No more. time.
No, but I agree with everything. I just wanted to make sure we were all like on the same page because I know them personally, so I know that they agree with you 1000%. Who did I want to bring it to? Latoya.
I'm like, dang, now I got so much input. So many things have been said from when I first raised my hand that I'm like, all right, let's go, Toya.
Toya, I will tell you, we're gonna start wrapping up all the answers because we didn't even get to relationships yet. But go.
Okay, but also this is what I wanted to mention. B had brought something up when she said like she wasn't she's not a teacher. She went to school for business. Mm-hmm. And then Danae, right? It's Danae. Mm-hmm. She mentioned that having an A was super important. And then Jamez just mentioned like also social interaction is super important. So this just falls again into parenting. And how we have to elevate ourselves as a people once we take on the responsibility of having children. I knew when my daughter was born, I wasn't a good reader, period. Like I don't spell well. My mother still edits my stuff to this day. I was not very good when it came to reading. So I was smart enough though to read the beginning of the story, read the end of the story, and know exactly what everything was about. Like my brain worked that way. Right? I wasn't the girl that could sit there and be like, okay, so I literally would have to come up with what I assume and then read the questions and say, oh, this looked like this probably won't make sense with the story. And I would always get all the answers right. So I was a different type of thinker. So when you become a parent, you basically have to now be the teacher. Because just like Jamez said, like, even though you have teachers there, they're going to teach what they believe they're supposed to be just getting their check for. They're not going to be able to really teach your child how to be socially accepted. They're not going to be able to teach your child how to walk in. My father used to tell me, when you go and you sit down and you're talking to these bosses, most of the time they're going to be white. Look that man dead in his eye when you're talking to him. Never put your head down. Always look him dead. Shake his hand with authority, right? He taught me how to make sure that I always stood my ground, have my presence, and never feel less than, even if I did not know. Right? Like he talked about being articulate. So just speaking those things and saying, well, do you know your ABCs? No, your baby don't know your ABCs because did you teach your baby the ABCs, right? So if they singing a song, that's the song you played all day long. That's the music you got in your house all day long. So that's what you're teaching your child. Like I had to learn that on my own because my daughter could sing all your single ladies, but when it's time to read Brown Bear, she's struggling. And I'm like, well, Toya, why you getting upset with her reading Brown Bear? Did you teach her Brown Bear? Are you playing Brown Bear in the house 24/7 or are you playing on my single ladies? Right? So that is where that becomes that social responsibility that we really have to take on as parents. Like it's a such thing as like living your life, but you also have to be conscientious of what living your life looks like and how that can replicate to your children. Because all they're going to do is be carbon copies of who we are. And if you really want to know who you are, watch the mannerisms of your child. Watch their etiquette. Watch the way they treat people, talk to people. Watch the way they talk to you. And that's even you being reflected back on yourself. So I just wanted to say that, like, we are teachers, no matter what. You don't have to go to school. You become the teacher of what you have produced. And so you want to make sure that you are replicating either the betterment of you, like elevating, like, oh, I wasn't good at this. I'm going to make sure my child is better at that kind of thing. So I'm gonna, right there.
Now, everything you said, I think we definitely have to take responsibility for learning how to be the best parents that we can be. And we have a lot of unlearning to do as a community, but I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. Just like I had to snap back at Mez, I'm going to get this little spicy a little bit. I think with the statement that Ms. B stated earlier, she was speaking to the lack of preparation. So it's not that as parents, we aren't inevitably educators. Teachers go to school because they are prepared and they are they take different classes and they excel and they have the skills necessary to sit down with a child and teach them X, Y, and Z for a certain amount of hours, right? So the skills that moms innately possess are slightly different from the skills that a teacher may possess. Not saying that now we can't acquire those skills, but to be thrown in the fire is why I felt her statement, because I did not expect raising 3 children at home and having a homeschool while working, while still taking care of home, while being a wife. I wasn't prepared. So it's not that we can't do it. It was the lack of preparation for me. I just wanted to state that.
I think Ms. B was speaking on a scholarly level, and I think Latoya is speaking on a personal level, because and both of y'all are right. Nobody's wrong. It's just seeing things from different perspectives, because children do emulate what they see. They emulate what they hear. So unbeknownst to you, at every moment you are teaching. That's what I think Toya is saying. And I believe Ms. B was speaking on the scholarly level. I wasn't trained to teach you the alphabet, and I wasn't trained to teach you punctuation. And, and I think that's where y'all guys are bumping heads, but y'all saying the same thing. And I think both of y'all are right. It's just different perspectives.
I don't think it was bumping heads. I felt everything that everybody said.
No, that was perfect.
Everything.
The wording that I used, the wording that I use, I stand corrected. The way Ron dissected that is 2 different perspectives, but ultimately I was just trying to shine a light on Miss B's perspective. Yes.
Hey guys, can I chime in real quick?
Yes, go.
Toya, actually, she's not wrong. I'm going to be so honest. She's not wrong in certain angles. I do see and hear everything that everyone's saying, but thanks, Destiny definitely broke it down. And so was it Ron or Mez? I'm sorry with the names. Ron. He too pointed out what I was trying to say. So yes, my issue is really, it was the patience. Teachers go to school to learn the patience to sit down with these kids, especially a 4 and 6-year-old. Like my son, he's a little bit more advanced. So with my 4-year-old, it was really more so of the issue, because it was like, again, ABCs, I don't want to do this no more. Then it was like, okay, Mom, well, let's do our shapes, let's do our colors. And then it's like, she's pouting, she's doing this. And I'm like, girl, do you give them this problem in school? Because they tell me every day, you're good. You're not good right now. You know what I mean? So it was like, that's why I was like, after 72 hours, I was like, oh, I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, listen, we're going to have our ABC session. And please forgive me, but I was the parent where YouTube, ABC got show all day, all 72 episodes. You're going to watch this, and I'm going to come back in an hour, and I'm going to ask you, we're going to do a little test. I was one of those for these 8 months. I was putting the social media out there because it was like, I'm trying to clean, cook, hurry up and do a store run. I'm trying to get stuff in order in the house. I'm trying to do my job on top of dealing with them. And then I'm like, what am I paying $350 a month for? To teach my kids? And so I feel all those parents that's doing virtual learning right now, I feel y'all for real. Because now the teenagers, the high school kids, y'all don't really have much to worry about. But it's the middle school and it's the elementary kids. I feel y'all, because I had to do it twice with my son, and I'm over here like, oh shit, 10 o'clock, you got religion class, hurry up. Because I'm dealing with the other one. And then I got, oh my God, you got a test? You got to do, and then I'm sitting there with him. I'm like, well, speak up, do this. And I'm like, we don't have no connection. Can we start over? Let's restart. That's draining. That's overwhelming. I had a glass of wine by 11 o'clock.
All right, so let me wheel it back. I think in that, no, it's fine. I thank you for sharing that and expounding on that. But I think that being that Toya also is more of a veteran, like our children are younger, this speaks to where we can pull from other women, where we could pull from our sisters and our brothers to be like, listen, I may not have the tools, I may not have the resources, especially she has a business to educate moms and help inspire moms, we can holler at her. So this is what this platform is about, also to just dissect one another, pull from one another, get a little spicy. But let's move on to relationships, because I know we got to wrap it up and Zanea has to leave. It's almost 5. Let's move on to relationships, right? Is it detrimental to relationships? Like what is the etiquette when it comes to relationships? Has phrases like is going down in the DM, sliding in DMs, demonized those certain features? Like let's start with you, Pat and Danea. How does Pat feel if you send someone a direct preferences? Do you guys have an understanding based on how you appropriately communicate via social media?
Like he said, he don't have it, so he's not really into it. But I feel like you're in a serious relationship. I don't feel DMing somebody that should happen at all. If you're in a committed relationship, that shouldn't happen at all. That's how I feel.
Definitely.
Okay, so go, Pat. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's like, I mean, like for me, like I don't have any of that, so I don't know. I mean, I know what it is, but I just feel like don't disrespect me. You know what I mean? Like don't disrespect me, and at the end of the day, don't disrespect yourself. You know what I mean? Because if we in a committed relationship and somebody DMing you or you DMing somebody else, I mean, what's the purpose? I mean, like nah, just don't disrespect each other.
I love that. Don't disrespect yourself. You hear? That's coming from a husband. Do you hear me? Do not. Okay, so but let me set the stage a little bit before somebody else go. Raise your hand, Pat. There's a such thing called like a story, right? That lasts for 24 hours, and people post stories. Like I can post stories of my children or my mother, or I can do a snapshot of being on Zoom, and someone can reply to that story and say, "Oh wow, that's nice," right? That is also recognized as a DM. So somebody want to speak to that?
I mean, all right. Like if you do something like that, what is your intentions? Now, I mean, like you could be saying, "Oh, that's nice," and coming at a whole different level. I mean, and especially like if you don't know the person, yeah, oh, that's nice, but what else are you trying to implement? So just keep it like, don't comment, period. You know what I mean? Or if the person comment, like don't feed into it, because then it can lead into something else.
Okay, I love that coming from the cousin, from the husband. Anyone else?
Can I chime in next?
Yeah.
The mic on that. So just like what Pat just said, as first of all, we're grown, right? As a woman, you know when someone's come. I mean, sometimes you don't know, but sometimes you know. First of all, you know what you posted in your story. You know if it was a Lauren. You know, as a woman, before I get on anything, I'm coming through my best. Unless I choose to come in with the bonnet and the robe on, then that's something else, right? But if I'm coming lip gloss and eyes batting and all that, I'm coming on there with the intention to make sure I'm looking good, right? So if now somebody is coming into my DM or replying to my story, oh, okay, I see you. All right, we know where these things are coming from, especially if you don't know the person. Now, if it came from someone like, let's say we're going to use the guys on this, Ron or Jamaz, these are the homies. They like, okay, sis, I see you. You good looking, bro, right? But now we get some random shabonkamy coming in talking about, okay, I see you, sis.
But sometimes that's even an issue. That's why I got my finger up.
That's my point. Because me personally, I don't know you. I don't know you.
The example you just made with, if it's the homies, right? So this is where we really get into it. Even if it's the homies, sometimes it isn't deemed appropriate.
That's the relationship. That's his level of security, because if he knows the homies and he knows that these are the homies, that means that he should also feel safe. That means that he should be able to give them a pound too, give them an embrace because he knows them, right? That really depends on the relationship of you guys, right? Like, so, because if my man has a girlfriend or a homegirl, I can't get upset unless there is a level or a reason for me to get upset. Like if she's coming at him in a certain way, you know, like, let's be for real now. You know, when they either had a thing, was supposed to be a thing, or if it really is something that is genuinely platonic and someone is genuinely giving him a compliment, like, I see you suited up, bro. Okay, coming through, cleaned up. Like, there's a certain tone. Right. Like, we got to be honest. You know the tone. If the tone is coming in a certain kind of way, let's not be tone deaf and act like, oh, I didn't know he was coming at me like that. Let's not do that. Like, let's keep it 100. Let's be grown. That's my opinion.
I love that. Tone deaf. That was a gem. Zanea, you upset?
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah. let me chime on that.
Yeah.
Just like they said, like with the homies, I know it's like 2 or 3 different occasions where these dudes were supposed to be my homies. I'm dapping them up, showing them love, breaking bread with them. And as soon as the situation occurred between me and my wife, they hitting it up like, yo, what's good? You know what I mean? Like, you don't need that dude, or I've been feeling you from day one. So nah, the homie, hell nah. Nah, bro. So I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, like, that's why I said, like, don't comment at all. Like, just keep everything to yourself. You know what I mean? Because even though it's the homie, just like you said, what are they real intentions? Yeah, so nah, just keep that shit to yourself, man.
But those was your homies, Pat. That was different. I wasn't talking about your homies. My man's homies should not be hitting me up at all. And that's a fact, right? I'm talking about homies that I personally know, because I got homies. Like, I know homies, you know, boys from the block. All right, Toy, I see you. But my man's homies should not be hitting me up talking about you look good. Okay, so I'm not tolerating it, because to me, that means that my man is out with somebody who's not trustworthy. And now I got to make sure that, like, he understands, like, your boys ain't your boys. It could be something way bigger than that. And now that's a trust factor. So personally, as a woman, you need to curb that. Let your man know, like, your boy's up in my, you know, like, that's just me. So that right there, that's something different. You know what I mean? Like, your man should not be hitting me up telling me I look good. My man already knows I look good. Thank you. You know what I mean? But, like, if my friends, niggas that I really drank with, let's say back in the day, you know what I mean? Like, those are my boys. They done see me look all kinds of crazy ways, so that they see me look in a good way. They those are my people. They might be friends, but not your friends. Your friends should never be in my DM, ever.
Okay, then so that's a great segue. If you and your man are together for years, and his friends have become your friends, y'all all family, what is the do's and don'ts when it comes to following your significant other's friends on Facebook, social, Instagram? Is it okay to follow one another? Let's scratch the DM. How do we feel about following friends of a significant other, especially if you guys known each other for years? It's not like, oh, well, I just met him yesterday, let me hit the follow button. But you guys have done double dates, and you know each other's families, the children hang out. Let's speak to that.
Can I go?
Yeah, man, go.
All right. Again, this is what I believe, right? One, I've been with my wife now 22 years. Don't let her hear this, because I get cussed out if I don't know the exact date, year, that type of shit. But let's say 20 years flat, right? From young adult into our current time, right? 3 children, ups, downs like everybody else, right? And this is my thing. I don't date children. You understand that? I don't date children, right? So any woman that I am going to date is going to be an adult, which means adults have appropriations. She knows how to dress. She knows how to conduct. She knows, she has the wisdom of her own life to know what's good for her and what's not, who to befriend and who not to, right? That's not part of my decision making. Because once I got to get into that, then I need to reconsider if this is the person that I want to be with.
Ooh,
right? That's one. As far as the DMing, right? I believe my wife is attractive, right? So I'm on the assumption that other men is going to find her attractive, right? And from my experience, women like to be complimented, right? Myself, I will compliment her if I'm outside, especially a black woman. Right? I find the darker skinned women very beautiful, right? So if I come across one, I'm going to the post office, I'm going to Walmart, wherever I'm going, and I see her, dang, sister, man, you're beautiful, man. That's a nice hairdo. You enjoy the rest of your day. That is not a proposition. That's just what I feel. Because again, I'm a heterosexual man, right? So although I am married to my wife, I am in love with my wife. I am committed to my wife. I'm not Stevie Wonder. There are thousands and millions of beautiful women, right? Now, I'm not really into DMing strangers. I don't see the point in that, right? Because we don't have nothing in common to really talk about.
Exactly.
But say you, Des, right? Or say now Latoya or B or whoever, and something's happened on social media that is really not, I don't want to put into the world. Back to the watch what you put on social media, right? And it's something I want to say to you particularly. I will DM you. Yo, Des, I think you're doing a little too much on social media, sis. You need to tone down. Or, yo, you know, I might not be in the mood to go through the whole 37 comments about my comment. You know, I feel this way. Or, you know, listen, I'm doing lunch Sunday, you know, you and your man, me and David, we'll go out. So that's what the DM is for. Now, in regards to the person, you have to trust them, right? Again, my wife is beautiful. I'm here. Me and Gunnar was talking about this when I was just out there a couple of weeks ago, right? I'm here doing the 3-hour preparation to go to the club, right? The jumping in the jeans for 40 minutes, the other 30 minutes of the makeup, the glittery stuff, the red bottoms that she's only going to wear for pictures, right? Because she really don't like them. She's going to put sandals on, flip-flops, right? So she's beautifying, going into a social setting, right? She's not going there just to be with you and Monique and Debbie. She's going there to be in a social setting. She's going to engage in conversations, right? Men are going to speak to her, right? She's going to flirt in a manner. When that song come on, Gunnar, what's the Megan song? With the ludicrous drop. That shit. She been practicing to do that dance for the last 6 weeks, right? The OG rock dance. This is what she's going to do.
You didn't even know she could dance, right?
I didn't know she could dance, right? Right, the bust it, that shit, right? But her being married to me doesn't mean that she's not allowed a life and aspiration and a way to express herself and a way to have fun and a way to, you know, when they all go to them cruises, the Turks and Caicos and all that, and her and her friends, they rent the boat and they on the deck of the boat with the bikinis, right? Not the grandma bikinis, not the one piece. That's not what she buys, right? But again, my point is that's irrelevant. That's her expressing myself. Me and gonna go out for his birthday. I'm going to get a haircut, right? My shirt fit right, my jeans fit right. You know, we're gonna buy 6-7 bottles. What comes with that is attention. That's just what comes with it. That's the dynamic, right? But at the end of the night, I'm going home.
Exactly.
Now, when I start coming home,
let's bring it to you, Ron. At the end of the night, let's close it there. You're going.
Yeah, I have to like what Mez said. Relationships is based on trust. Like everything is trust, and you got to keep in mind that when you and your partner got together, you picked that partner, and that partner picked you. So once you get outside of that mind frame, this is when things get haywire because you picked this woman. So it's on you to trust this woman to make sound decisions with regard to your relationship, with regard to your feelings, to your trust, and vice versa. She picked you to be a man that she can trust in. So I have friends that, like Des is my friend. Des is a good friend of mine, and she's on social media. So Des do something, and what is it? Like you said, the story. It's on me as a man and Des's friend to understand that there's some things that's not necessary to comment to. You have to understand that. And I think Latoya said it. You can't just comment on everything. And you can't like everything because now you're giving the wrong impression. And usually impressions is what your intentions are. Because you're giving an impression because you have a certain intention. So when she put up the booty shorts picture with her friends and you like that, but skip the baby story, you kind of know where this guy's intentions are.
Right,
you understand what I'm saying? Vice versa.
I'm hearing be discreet in how you engage.
Right. You have to operate with a certain mannerism, which man lady. Like when I see my man like Des, I see Des, I give her love because I knew Des before her new man, and and vice versa. But I will never say anything to Destiny that I wouldn't say to Destiny in front of her man. You know what I'm saying? And I make it my business to operate that way because I'm not trying to undercut you. I'm not trying to step on your toes. I don't want your legs. So, when I see certain women like all of y'all on the chat now, we don't know each other, but when I am to meet y'all, adapt y'all like this. To show it's love. There's a certain, I think Toya said it, tone deaf. Don't be tone deaf. You know what's going on. You know what the hell you're doing when you give a certain eye contact, you give a certain look, you respond to a certain thing. And it's on you and your relationship to protect that, to protect that dignity in your relationship.
All right, I think that I love that. Well said. Exactly. Danielle was next, and then Toya, and then Brittany.
No.
All right, so let me lower your hand. Go, Toya.
But that just like what Ron just said is what Pat said earlier, respect yourself. Like you have to set the tone on what you will accept and what you will not accept. Some guys know like you can't play like that with certain people because you already put that out there. Like I'm hearing what Mez said, when your girl is going out, of course, we all going out, but you're going to show up and show out. My whole thing is if you show up, that's the show out. That really is, I live by that. And anybody knows me, that's really how I live by. But when I'm walking in, I'm also walking in, if I have a man with that on my mind. He seen me before I left. I got the approval, how I look, babe, I'm good. Got the little kiss. And I'm on my way to have my fun with my friends and come home to my man with the same mindset. You want to buy me a little drink? That's so cute. You cute. Let me buy you a drink. Now I'm on my way. Like there is a way that you know that you should carry yourself and you have to just live by that, right? A man saying that, you all right, boo, that's the security he's walking out. He's letting you walk out with his security in the bag and you left with yours with his the same way. You know that. You know your man look good. That's why you picked him. You know the shorty's gonna holler at him. That's why you picked him, right? But you gotta also know that your man know, like, it gotta be a joke when y'all come home. Whoa, shorty was on me. It was on me. Like I used to joke with my man like that. Like they be on me, right? Because that's I need you to know. You got a good girl, but I need you to know you really have a good woman at the same time, right? So it's those things that again, it's that communication piece. It's a trust piece. And it is something that you have to come up with the don't cross this line. I got the marker right there. You see that line? Oh, okay. Your little toes a little bit over it, boo boo. You want to step back. You got to be able to be that as well, right? So we all hitting it right on the head with everything right here. So the DM, the sliding, like we said, don't be tone deaf. Set the tone on what it is. And when somebody does come in your DM, be a woman enough and a man enough. Be like, listen, Exactly. I'm not sure where you're going with this, but I don't post my husband, but I'm happily married. Like, I'm good. Thank you for the compliment. Carry on. And then sometimes you got to block. I'm the queen block. I'm queen block. You got to delete people out your DM, out your space, out your page. You got to do it, especially when you know the tone is coming up a certain way. You got to be the one to be like, all right, this person don't see this line. So now they don't get to see nothing at all. And that's it.
Absolutely.
Brittany, you were next. Thank you, Toya. That the gems just come naturally. Thank you, Toya. Brittany, next.
I really don't have much to add on to what everyone said, to be honest with you. My only rule I always said, I'm different. I'm just, when I mean different, meaning, let me clarify that. Meaning like, I don't think it's really cool to be social media friends with your partner, let alone his homies. Like they your friends, not mine. So we already got that clear. But as far as like my kid's father, when he was on social media, I used to tell him, why you keep sending me a friend request? We don't need to be friends. And that was just me personally. And I felt that way because my thing is, you can't control what people write on your comments and stuff. Yeah, you can because you can delete it. But I'm saying as far as the initiation part, if they put the heart eyes or if they send out the kissy faces, my thing is, did you entertain that? You slide in my DM, just like Toya said, she's the queen, the block queen. I don't block. I am the leave you on scene queen. Oh, I love that. I love when you keep messaging and I just look and I look. and I leave you unseen. So you know that I see it, but I don't care. You know what I mean? So even if somebody slide in my DM and you know I have a man, go ahead and slide. Keep sliding, boo. You're going to slide right on the head because you ain't going to get no entertainment. That's me. So everyone's different. Same if I was involved with somebody, like I said, if a chick got all these emojis, okay, she's doing a lot of emojis. Who is she? She's happy. Why? I want to be happy like her.
I don't know.
Other than that, as long as you're not entertaining that, boo, I'm cool. We good because like y'all said, my man looks good.
Mars, you want to be happy like her?
Yeah, I don't know why she
I want to be happy like her too because she's doing a lot of emojis.
I don't know why she happy.
Huh? You want to be happy, word.
I don't know why she happy.
Word, why Shorty smiling?
Well, you don't know why she happy.
I can't control her fingers.
Like I said, we leave her on scene.
I can't
I'm gonna leave you on scene.
Wait, so that's the perfect segue. What emojis are appropriate? But it seems like y'all blocking people, y'all leaving people on scene. So I'm not leaving no emojis on anybody's post or comment. What emoji is appropriate? Is the high emoji appropriate? Is the heart emoji?
It depends. It depends on the narrative, right?
Yeah, it depends on that post.
Yeah.
Like if I post,
you know what emoji is.
Right. I think it's kind of self-explanatory.
You know what time it is.
What's not.
If I post Jeremiah,
how about that?
No, if I post Jeremiah,
don't put no fruits.
If I post, I got a 2-year-old son, right? So if I post him, right, and usually the females, mainly not really the guys, but they'll put the smiley face with the hearts on the face, or they put the the hard eyes. My son is 2. I don't take that as a sexual interest.
Fine.
Right?
No, because that's like
that's all. We talking about you. We talking about you. We ain't talking about son. We talking about the big son. We talking about the trade.
I post the emoji, right? So I have a friend, right? She's just a fucking clown, right? You can't never really take her serious. She's just an a-hole to the 10th power, right? So I'll post a picture that I think is good, right? I got my little shirt on, my little muscles showing, what's left, right? I got a haircut, and she'll put the face with the vomit coming out the mouth. Like she's being asshole.
But that's my point, right? So you already know the vibe on that. Don't post any fruits on my page. Do not Chiquita banana. I don't need that part, Toya. I don't post fruit. I don't need to see a grape. I don't need to see cherry. Toya. I don't need any of those. You want to say, oh, you looking fire? Show me my fire emojis. Mm-hmm. Oh, sometimes when we put the hearts with the eyes, it's just like, oh, I love that. Like that's so cute. But they don't got a cute emoji.
You hit it on the head.
If they had all that's so cute emoji, we would maybe put that's so cute, right?
But you hit it on the head.
They don't have that.
You know,
so we know
the person is coming from. You know, first of the person is coming from. Right. That's one. Right. That's where it starts. Right. And then the words that's not spoken. As a man, I'm 43, so I know when a woman is flirting with me. Right. And the difference between, the innocent flirt, right? Because some people just flirtatious, right? And then
but it's about how you move. If even though she's flirting, what are you doing? Like, what would Jesus do? You know what I'm saying? You gotta do that.
I don't know what Jesus would do. But
Jesus ain't gonna flirt when he know he got a good woman. You know what I'm saying?
I think people enjoy being conveniently naive. Like, you're naive when it's convenient for you. You know what I'm saying? People love being conveniently naive. It's like, I didn't know what the fruit meant. Like, I knew what the fruit was about when you sent it, man.
No, everyone likes to be complimented. Everyone likes their ego stroke. Everyone likes.
You don't get jealous. Men don't get jealous. Hello. He's a different breed. Yes, go Danae. He's a different breed.
Now what I'm saying is, if I see a guy with his picture there, if I like the picture, I would say I like the picture. I'll put the heart with the emoji. I'll put the fire. At the end of the day, he is cute. But at the end of the day, I know what I have. I ain't know when I come home to. There's no if with me. Like I see a nice guy. Oh yeah, you cute. Okay, I might like that. Oh, you cute. You handsome. That's it. You will never see me on your page again. I'm just letting you know because I already know what I got. I have my king already. But it's okay for a female to be like, "Oh, you're cute," or a guy say you're cute and leave it just like
I
that.
agree with her.
That's how
I think
feel.
some people, I'm sorry to cut you off, Mom. I agree with you because I think some people look at social media as so much validation. Like, you don't need validation about how good you look, how good you and your man look. Because I'm gonna keep it real, half the time, some of these people is capping. Some of them is really having a fucked up relationship, but on social media, they look like J and B right now. They look like the happiest couple. And they not. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I don't think I need to be friends with my significant other.
I agree with you with that.
And as far as posting, see, because I've learned a lot in these past 3 years, but I've learned that now with my next relationship, I won't be posting him. I'll probably once in a blue, maybe a family photo, but really, as far as my happiness, you like Toya said earlier, it's like how we feel like we grow up with the people that we follow. No, boo, you won't be in this relationship. Just me and him. That's it.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me throw out some layers.
People definitely pray for your downfall, and that's a fact. And it's unfortunate, but we don't realize we really innately have jealousy in us. All of us do, because we yearn for why them, why not me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not fair.
Are we giving people that power? Like, are we?
I'm a Sagittarius.
People pray on people's downfall, or maybe
it's frequency, Destiny. That is real. You have to believe in that.
That power. See, the only power that allowed to take hold of anything in my life is Jesus Christ, and that's number one. So I'll say that. Number two, this is such a complex conversation, but I'll just speak from my experience. When social media, specifically Instagram, first became popular, like 2012, 2013, me and my man were fresh before the baby. I wasn't secure in my relationship. I'll say that. So because I wasn't secure in my relationship, when I see him post certain emojis, because to Brittany's point, we're following one another, when I see him post emojis under women's pages or certain things that I felt like inappropriate. Oh, you went to a brunch, how you end up with this girl? I wasn't invited to that brunch. Like it caused a lot of friction, right? So we for years stopped following one another. And then the more we grew, and then I had babies, and the more I matured out and became more business savvy, because now I'm everywhere the money resides, right? So these texts and these influencers, they are at a certain level where they're able to monetize off of the amount of likes and off of the amount of comments. So really, I'm in the state that I'm in right now, I'm more so focused on a goal, right? And that end goal is if Destiny wants to become a personality, become a host, if she wants to bring her close family and friends on and everybody put a cast together, we have to build a certain following. And how you build that following and grow that audience, how the generation before under us is doing, because again, it's a generational gap. They understand the power of reposting. They understand the power of retweeting, commenting, likes, because guess what?
Visual.
It's monetary gain if you play the game right? If you play your cards right. So with that being said, yeah, in the past, when it first began and I understand it was money involved, I'm like, oh, like, what you doing? Like, I was very insecure. Once I built that security within myself, like when you hear the phrase being thrown around, if he was with someone else, he was never yours. Like, I'm not pressed about if he's cheating or if somebody's sliding in his DM. I'm not pressed. I'm not checking phones the way I was doing in the first year, checking, going through contacts, calling people back. I'm not doing that because I'm I'm secure with mine and what I bring to the table.
That's right.
So as long as everything is done hashtag respectfully, whether it's an emoji, whether it's a DM, like I send Ron DMs, I send Mez DMs. I couldn't have communicated with them. I didn't have their number. They would have never been able to be on this platform if it wasn't for that. So, but a lot of those things could be misconstrued. A lot of those things could be lost in translation. So it comes back to trust. Trust that person. Trust. Are you secure with yourself? And again, it comes back to everybody pointed this out. Y'all relationship. What are the rules? Maybe y'all need to sit down and say, hey, do you have a business? If you don't have
picked your partner, right? You got to keep in mind, you picked your partner. Yeah.
If you don't have a business going on, you don't need all those likes.
Yeah, right.
Are you selling something that you need people to comment and to recognize you and to get on this certain level? So again, there's so many layers, and I just wanted to add my perspective because again, we all have our individual different journeys we're taking. So the journey before, it was just for play. Now where the money resides, I need every like. I'm not Beyonce. If you look on Instagram, Beyonce is Jay-Z and Pat got a lot in common. They don't have social media, but guess what? They've already reached their pinnacle. Beyonce, if you go to her page, she follows no one. Although she's on social media, Jay-Z ain't got to worry about her following nobody, sliding up in DMs. That's over 20, 30 years of work she put in. You know, and she already got that money. She's already where the money resides. So no one else has that luxury to not be DMing and sending and liking. If I like somebody, if I see somebody, I support somebody, because I respect that in return, because I know I'm the one day to post mine. It's not about me liking them. Like, it's not about me wanting to be with them or being on them. It's about the respect, say it for me, Toya, reciprocity. Okay? It's about reciprocity when it comes to me getting to where the money resides. Okay? And I'm done with that.
When I see a post, I like it just because it's yours.
Exactly. I have nothing else, no other intentions.
Right, but sometimes people don't understand, especially, it's a generational gap, and I am part of that generation. People don't understand if Destiny posts something, she may want you to like and comment it just because it'll make her brand grow. Exactly. Even if you don't like it, you commenting, putting I don't like it, is making my comments look a little heavy. You know what I mean? So it's just helping the brand. So again, if you don't have that brand and you're not focusing on the business, you shouldn't really, you know.
Right. And that's different. That's what I'm saying. It's that fun, right? So when we took because what B said was, she was talking about like not posting a relationship. Because I talked about this before. There's people who don't know how to let go spiritually from you. Right? You might have an ex shorty that you found somebody else brand new and you good with her. And this woman is not good that you're good with her, right? Because Cookie talked about it earlier, her being bullied by the family. And that can ruin a relationship. Yeah. Vice versa. You got a man, it's some guys that just you're always mine. You always gonna be mine. No, boo, like I'm in a relationship right now. We're not together anymore. That can also bring some sort of bad salt in your relationship. See, now what you're talking about is that post that you're posting with your man. When you posting it, y'all in the bed together, and you're showing him before you post. Like, look, I'm gonna post this. He already is on your grind mode, right? He knows that if he needs to hold the camera, he's there to hold the camera. He knows that he needs to make sure your eyelashes, your hair is in place before you go on stage or whatever it is. He's already on your team, right? So that type of posting and that type of thing, if you got 100 likes, he should be like, that's what's up, high-fiving you. If you only got 50 likes, he needs to be promoting your business, because whatever you monetize then comes into the whole entire circle. But when you just have a page just for the sake of having a page, right? And you're posting personal things with you, your man, your girl, and now that energy is real. That frequency of, he's happy without me. Oh no, boo. She's not going to be happy. I'm going to now create a fake page. I'm going to send posts to her about her man. I'm going to make up a story. There are people who are like that.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's where
you need to be a preacher.
That's
over
where
here
I
having
believe
the Holy Ghost spirit over here.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I believe B was at with it, because that type of energy, you need to like not have, like, that's what I believe she's talking about protecting. You know what I mean? And I believe in that deeply. That's why when D came on and said her and her man have a business venture, they're not going to talk about it right now, because it is energy like that you could be talking about a brand new house, a good old job. Yo, I just went to this job interview. Yo, I can't wait. You talk to somebody about it, they like, oh, you went to a job interview? Oh, because in their mentality, right, you're about to be ahead of the curve. And now when you're ahead of them, that means you're leaving them behind. And some people don't want to be left behind. So in their mind, that energy, that negative frequency is already in the universe. And you're like, shit, I didn't get the job. They're like, oh, wow.
Let the church say amen.
But you know what?
So that's where I was at.
You know why that don't faze me? It's because I've been through that my whole life. Those frequencies is like.
That means you share too much, D. That's
Right,
my
yeah.
point.
No. I can
You, if you've been through something.
Brittany knows. I can walk on and I don't have to open my mouth.
No, you gotta live and learn. Live and learn.
You know what I mean?
Right there.
So I think that's why I don't allow that to hold too much weight, because if I did, I would drown. But I understand energy. Like I see people running around with sage and protecting the air and the energy. That's something that I'm not into. But I think you make great points. You make great points.
Can I say something to that, right? With your relationship, with your personal self, with all those things, you are responsible for protecting that, right? So if I walk into a room, right, and I'm from the bottom. That's the basis of my life. It started at the bottom, right? And then I lived, a little experience learned. So mainly when I go amongst people, right, they see me, no haircut, polo hat, they say, oh, damn, this kid is from, or this young man is a hoodlum, right? Until I open my mouth. And then when I open my mouth and start engaging, then it's like, oh, damn, well, he do know a little bit. But whether I get that validation from them or not, their opinion of me can't take what I know. Their opinion of me can't shape where I've been. Their opinion of me can't dictate my accomplishments or my failures, right? Because I embraced it all. When I look in the mirror, I know who's looking back. And I'm a husband, and I'm a father, and I'm a brother, and I'm a son, I'm a friend. But before all of that, I am a man. And this man has likes that I don't share with my wife, that I don't share with my children. This man has dislikes that I don't necessarily share with my wife, right? She is her own person, right? Like she likes flowers and chocolate and all that kind of stuff. I personally don't like that. Right? I massages, and I don't personally care for that. Now I engage because it's something that she likes, and that's our compromise, right? But she don't like football. So I might go buy me a ticket to a football game and go by myself. Because although I am all those things, I am me first. And when she met me and we agreed on this union, she has to trust that the man that I am, right? So, because she's a woman and she's a great woman, but she has the same thing that, some women have, right? She might say, oh, she don't like me being friends with Des, or she might not like me going to this party or going to this brunch. Vice versa. I don't like none of her friends. None of them. Maybe one, maybe. But it's not my place to like them. I don't have to like them. They're not my friends. I don't call them. They don't call me. We don't go on dates. We don't have social time, But when I come in the house and they're here, respectfully, hello, how you doing? And I'm about my way. And that might be male or female. My wife, she like you, Toya, she likes the finer accoutrements of life, right? I don't, right? So she have male friends that she sold with. That's her inalienable right to do so. She works hard enough and strong enough and loves enough to be able to choose that. And she knows right and wrong. She knows, right, as an adult woman, if she does this will cause friction. And then we'll deal with that if that occurs. But I'm not wishing it to fruition. I'm not overthinking it. I'm not, right? Gunna my friend. Gunna's friends with my wife. Gunna and my wife are friends outside of me, right? So if Gunna doing something, I travel a lot, right? If Gunna doing something and she invites me out and she goes, I'm not looking into that. She went to lunch with her friend, just like if Destiny called and offered her to lunch. So my point is, you can't quiet people's insecurities. That's something that they have to grow and work on and make better for themselves. And if you do something in your relationship that's out of pocket, what's out of pocket. You ain't no invalid.
Yeah.
And then you cross that road when you get there. Okay, Gun, I'm sorry.
And like you said, that all boils down, like you said, to trust in your partner, to believe in your partner, because you picked this partner. So you got to trust in your pick. If you playing a sports game or sports betting game, or you playing spades, you're not gonna pick a loser intentionally. So you pick the partner because you're not gonna pick. So you pick this person because you believe that this person can win. And like he said, these insecurities, men and women are wired differently by nature. They're all wired different. So a man's insecurities and a woman's insecurities are very different. And I think this is why you see nowadays women are very big on body. Women are insecure about their bodies. Men are insecure about materialism and finances. This is the difference. So social media is kind of one-sided when it comes to the man. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's very one-sided because when you see that pictures, this is what people say, yo, you can't like that because she has on this and she's not wearing that or she's like that. So when I like this picture, you can see my intention because she didn't have on any clothes and I like that picture, you've seen my intention. Now, as far as a woman, it would be very different if I say, you can't like a man's picture who has a chain on because I don't have a chain. Ooh. You can't like a man's picture because his chain is bigger than mine. His car is better than mine, so you can't follow him. Because security is very different. This is where it's very one-sided for men and women as far as social media. And you have to keep that into account because it wouldn't be fair for a man to put all his insecurities on his woman and her social media because at that point, she damn near can't follow no celebrity. You can't like pictures no more. Go like the nigga outfit better than mine. Nope. Outfit better than mine. And until my outfit get as good as that, you can't like him, you can't follow him. And ours is just more upfront because the woman doesn't have any clothes on. She's showing her body. You know, like, and your girl says, yo, her breasts are bigger than mine, her ass is bigger than mine. So why you like this girl picture? You want to hit her. When you seen Idris Elba's picture, yeah, he had a shirt on, but you wasn't thinking about it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very different. It's good very point, different. When you seen Shamal Moore picture, you wasn't thinking about how nice the smile was in that picture. No, it was very different.
Funny. No, that's good. That's a great point because it's also lopsided in regards to DMs and the respect level. So I will admit, and I'm going to be transparent, when my significant other and I first really, got off the ground running is in regards to our relationship, I wasn't getting flooded like with DMs. Like men, for whatever reason, they respect when they see you're in a committed relationship. I don't know, maybe I could just speak for me, right? So I wasn't getting a lot of people hitting me up trying to link with me, but on the opposite end, there was a lot of things going on the other side. And I'm just like, they don't have no respect. I'm sitting here pregnant. What are we doing? Like, so there's a lot of lopsided scenarios that we get into.
It's funny you say that because when I got in a committed relationship, there was a couple of people and men that I purposely cut off because I knew I was attracted. So I never wanted anything to because he just brought up Idris. We know he just is handsome as hell. We know none of us have no, you know what I mean? But he brought him Shema, you know what I mean? But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's certain people, it's funny because I have a friend that I literally cut him off and he didn't understand why I cut him off, why I stopped being friends with him. Because I knew I was attracted to him, but I knew he was friends. But I knew it was a level of sort of flirtation I could do with him a little bit, you know what I mean? But I knew he wasn't going to go there. But now I have a man, my voice, my level of my tone, all that. My man's gonna be like, yeah, you sound a little bit too happy talking to him. Like, what's going? You laughing a little bit too much. I don't think the joke was that funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
can I say something to that?
Wait, yeah, you could say something. Go ahead.
Right. That is human nature. If I meet you at a bar, right?
But as a woman, my point is, as a woman, you gotta know how much you can be tempted. Like that's like being on a diet and going to the Cheesecake Factory with your friends and cheesecake is your favorite. Don't play yourself. Know what you can and cannot do. Know how much temptation you genuinely can take. Some people's willpower is not as good. Like some people can't be best friends with Beyonce and never look at her ass. But come on, I'm a woman and I'm like, damn, B, your ass is amazing, right?
There's no wrong in looking at her ass. If my wife loves T.I., right? She Iverson, she don't watch basketball, right? When Iverson was playing a Sunday game right now, she'll be watching Ive, right? Ive could cross the ball over, it goes off his foot, goes in the third row, and she say, did you see that move? Right? She called baskets field goals, right? So she's oblivious to the sport, but she's attracted to Ive, right? Now, say my walk of life brings me where I could be friends with Ive, or I can have a relationship with Ive, right? Do I not have that because my wife is attracted to him?
That's a good point.
Listen, and this is no disrespect to your wife, no disrespect to none of that, right?
No,
and I know I'm not going to get biblical. I'm not going to get biblical, but I'm going to get biblical, right? Jesus said you can sin with your eyes. You know why? Because what you see then leads to mindset. Mindset then leads to heart movement, and you move with your actions. I don't care what nobody says. If I see this, right, I'm like, oh, I like that. My mind is always going to be on why I like it, how I can wear it, what I can wear it with. Then eventually I'm going to try to figure out, damn, how can I afford it? All right, now I got to save this. I got to save that. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save that. And then eventually I'm going to cop it. Okay. I understand everything you're saying, right? But if I know my man told me he likes certain things, but every time he sees, like, damn, I like, my man loved JT, the girl, whatever her name, the rapper girl, he loved dark-skinned women. I'm not that brown, right? I'm not that brown. I'm not as brown as I want to be, right? So every time he sees this brown-skinned woman, please understand, whatever you see in your mind, you will forever remember what you saw. Nobody can tell me they ever watched porn and never remember what they saw, right? And then eventually want to emulate it. We got to stop playing games. You said we grown, right? You meant we grown. Right. So if I see a man that looks good and I pay attention with him too much, trust me when I tell you, some way, somehow, imagination plays a major part. We all have the beauty of imagination. Okay? And sometimes some men and women can do this. You can be intimate with your partner, but your mindset has already put you in a place, a segment with someone else, that when you think she or he is doing what they're doing to you, that imagination then comes into play, and it's Willy Wonka in your bedroom, right? So I get it. You can like them, don't like them too much. Don't imagine about them too much. Don't emulate them too much, because you can sin with your eyes, right? You can be a man and have adultery with your eyes, because your mind is a powerful thing. Let's not play games. We know we only use 2% of our brain, but if we use 2.5, can you imagine what the fuck else would happen? Right. So I'm good on you. I'm good on you looking at her for whole time. You want to look at her for 5 more minutes, bro? Adultery,
yes. I have.
Wait, Mez, before you respond, because this is getting good. Before you respond, does anyone else want to say something?
Yeah, because I
Pat, Ron, Brittany.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got you, Mez. I promise.
I do want to disagree with Toya to an extent, because eyes are for a reason. My mom told me that was years ago, and I do understand that's a biblical verse, but I disagree with it. I don't care who wrote it, because your eyes is there for a reason. God gave us these attributes. I'm going to be honest. God gave you these attributes to enjoy these things. God gave you eyes to enjoy what you see. God gave you taste buds to enjoy the things that you eat. God gave you a penis and a sensation in a vagina to enjoy these sensations. But to an extent, as you said, it's all to an extent. And this is all circumstantial, because as humans, we overindulge everything. We overindulge in everything. We overeat, we over-sexualize, we overdo everything. And if we watch I wrote an article about this. If you watch it operate as the animals do, we will live a lot longer. Because if you watch a cat, eat a piece of meat, he eats around the fat. He doesn't eat anything that's gonna hurt him. If you watch animals, they only have sex when they're in heat. It's only for reproduction purposes. We do it for happiness. We do it for pleasure, period. And we just continuously do it. So we overindulge in everything. And as women, I want y'all to know that y'all carry a certain sense of power. From the beginning of time, war have been fought over women. It all starts with women. Everything starts with the woman. In my eyes, and y'all can disagree if y'all want, the woman is God. The Black woman, that is. The Black woman is God. All life creation started through Black women. You can never recreate the Black, and the darkest Black woman at that. And from dark, you can get light. You can never get light from darkness. So I want y'all to know that y'all carry a certain power with y'all. So when women operate and they say, yo, and especially black women, I'm sorry, I'm very hard on black women, and I love them to death. If you see my lady, she's dark as they come. I love black women, but y'all carry a certain power because I lose my train of thought, forgive me. But y'all carry a certain power when it comes to just life. So I don't pick black women because black women, you are, and I don't know the last time you prayed and said, hey, God, I feel so sorry for what you're going through. I don't think y'all ever said that in a prayer. So I just want y'all to know that y'all carry a certain power. So you have to operate with that power. Wars start over women. When you see, go back in ancient times, a woman sleeps with a man who was married, how they said, she's a whore. That was just it. She's just a whore. Now, when the man sleeps with a woman, it starts a war when you sleep with another man's woman. It just starts something completely different. It sets off a whole villages die behind this because there's a certain power that y'all carry.
That's a whole, those 2 points are a whole other episode. You hear me?
I was just about to say that.
You gotta wrap it up, Des. It's almost 6 o'clock. We can go on and on.
Yeah, we can go on and on. Danae and Pat, and Britt, do you have anything in closing?
No, everybody's touched everything, to be honest with you. I think this was great and we should do this again.
I'm sorry. Mez wanted to close. Let's let Mez close, and then we can. I had one last question, but we can get into it the next time in regards to the breach of privacy when it comes to putting your information on social media and how we minimize that, if we can even minimize it. But Mez, let's go.
It's hard to go behind that. I mean, women definitely have a power. I don't know about the God thing. I mean, that's something that we discuss further. However, definitely every 96% of what men do is in the liking of woman, the acceptance of woman, the be embraced in woman. We come through women. We never leave that. We never get away from it. So I'm definitely in agreement with that. Right now, to Toya, as far as the eyes, me being married, right? My vow to God, for layman's terms, right, is not the in my desire. This desire I have was embedded in me in birth, and grown up in society, socially, indictively, right? So yes, I'm going to be attracted to Sanaa Lathan, right? I might find some alone time with myself and better myself with the thought of Sanaa Lathan. Right?
Find some alone time, boy.
Listen, keep it real. Keep it real.
Yeah.
But that was exactly to my point.
That is not me
hit my point on the head.
That's what she's talking about, the mind, right?
But that's what I'm talking about, the power of the mind.
That is not
the eyes.
That is not me cheating, right?
It's not. I agree. It's not.
As a man,
this is a whole other episode.
If you look at monogamy, right? Monogamy is 600 years old. The idea of one man, one woman is 600 years old. It's still in its infancy, right? So me growing up in this time under this social construct, I've been trained, right? I've acquired learned behavior of one man, one woman, right? And I'm doing my best to adhere that. But if we being honest, if you ask any man that's being honest, yes, I get a boner off of other women. Yes, I get sexual
real.
Ideas off of other women. But I'm not a donkey, and I'm not a monkey, and I'm not a lion.
Right.
I am a human being. So me being a human being, I am able to course my logic and says, no, that's not good for me. I might want that, but that's not good for me, right? I'm gonna go over here, right? I might ask my wife to role play. I might ask my wife tonight to become Sanaa Lathan, right? But that's the communication. That's the
it's for real.
If you believe for 1 second that I am the only man that my wife is attracted to, then you are living in a false reality. That's just not realistic. There are plenty of handsome, attractive Men,
Yeah.
right? And then we got preference, right?
Okay, Mez, let me chime in real quick. I think we, all of us, with the women specifically on this cast and panel, understand human nature. That's why you hear me like keep it real, because it's the truth. But what we are trying to help you understand is when does the control factor come in? Like, when do you take responsibility for trying to control those
Action,
aspects of human nature that you have?
versus desire.
Especially if you're married, especially if you're in a relationship, because I could be attracted to someone, but just like Toya mentioned, you know, I'll block them, or I'll find ways to make sure that, you know, I deter from that temptation.
You
And
can't
it sounds
climb
like
into the cave.
you're not willingly trying to deter. You're just like,
No,
well, this
because
is
you can't climb into the cave. Yesterday I had a real bad day, right? And I woke up and I wanted to kill people, right? My mind was bad. My emotions was bad. I wanted to load my weapon up, go outside and just kill people, right? That was where my mind state was at. My desire was at, my thought process, right? But because I'm a human being, I also think, well, if I do that, right, they're going to catch me. They're going to take me away for 100 years. I won't see my kids no more, right? So I find a way to quiet the noise, right? Me being attracted to you sexually does not mean me having sex with you, because you have to prioritize your life. We all get paychecks. This time I'm going to get a paycheck, and the new joints come out, and it costs $350. But I got to pay my cable.
You can teach yourself and unlearn those thoughts.
No, you can't unlearn those thoughts. Those
That's
thoughts are
exactly.
No,
exactly. You can say going forward, I may not look at her in this sexual manner. You know, let me look at her face and just, you know, appreciate it. But I'm not going to try to gaze at her booty. I'm not going to gaze at her breast. Those are the control.
How I'm not going to.
That's unfair. That's unfair, y'all.
Women do
because every day you're gonna see something that you like.
Now I learned.
If it ain't that person, it's gonna be another one.
Right, but I'm not going.
Can we agree? Can we agree that
just because you like it,
we're not the same?
Listen, just because you like it, don't mean you indulge. Like,
can we agree?
Pornography became a subject. I've tried my best, and this is gonna be another episode, to eliminate that from my routinely getting to that whenever you feel hot and heated. That's just a personal journey that I'm on. But
in my relationship, we push masturbation.
It's a journey, though.
You're supposed to.
No,
in my relationship, we push masturbation. If you like it, you watch porn, you masturbate, that's fine. As long as you don't go out there and physically touch.
That is not cheating.
No, it's not cheating.
I don't put that same disgust in my relationship.
This is another
conversation. I do with myself.
Say that again.
It's another conversation.
Well, before we leave, I'll be different.
Wait, let me get this mic.
But hold on, Danae and Pat. Let me let Danae and Pat and Toya. Danae, you had something to say. Danae.
No, I'm good. No, go ahead.
Okay, Toya.
Ron said something earlier. He said women have a certain kind of power, right?
Right.
Women, he said, believe women to God. He said all this. Right now, women, we don't really get, like, our body lets off a certain kind of frequency and energy, air pheromones. Like, it's different from a man. It is different from a man.
Sorry.
Like, we let something off. Our bodies let something off that your man can know when you're in that space mode in time. Men don't really have that, right? Because everything with them is visual. So their visual mind and the blood starts flowing. Now you know he's excited about what he saw.
No.
The blood flowed to that area, right? With men, y'all never know if we're excited. We could be watching something and whole body feeling some kind of way, but you will never know. But you could feel the energy. You could smell if your woman has that type of pheromone that's real. You know when it's time, right?
I know the look.
So when you talked about masturbating not being a cheating, there's a certain extent, right? There was my relationship, I understood that there were certain things that he was into. So again, it's that level of understanding and respect. But being excessive is something that is different. A person can be excessive and you can leave your woman out of
it. He said excessive
program, right?
Excessive is subjective.
Right. But then this is why when I'm talking about my business, when I was talking about my business before about the woman becoming a mother and certain things change, how to keep herself first, because she needs to also learn how to switch. Men are visual. learning to switch it up. You could be brown hair Tatiana today, and then when you come home, be redhead Tatiana, which in his mind, it's someone else, or it can be someone else, right? So knowing your man, knowing that your man is visual, you always got to sort of like be ahead of the curve with that with him. There's some men that are like that. Some men can be stimulated mentally, so having a really good conversation with you can keep him up, keep him on point, always with you. But like as Mez keeps bringing up, and Ron, the eyes are something that is visual. So that on that end, on a woman's perspective, from your woman to your wife, she's always got to keep you entertained visually.
I agree.
She's always got to be ahead of the curve visually.
Where we disagree is the cheating part.
No, I'm not saying that you're gonna cheat, but eventually your desire can lead. It's about the willpower. You already talked about that, man.
And my wife went to the judge, and said she wanted a divorce, right? And the judge, okay, that's okay.
We wrapping it up. 30 seconds.
I give you a divorce. What's your grounds? Oh, my husband thinks about other women, or my husband masturbates, or my husband looks and desires. That is a human accord because you have the ability to ration. Right? So when a monkey sees a monkey, it's just a monkey. It don't care about if it's a black monkey, a brown monkey, a tall monkey, little monkey, right? When a human being sees another human being, you create preference, right? And just because I am attracted to you, just because I like your body shape, just because I like your style, your vibe, whatever, I have the ability to control my impulses. Not just sexually, in life, right? I go in the store and I want an apple. I see the apple. I don't got no money. I have the ability cognitively to decipher. All right, I can't just snatch this apple and eat it. I have to pay for it, even though I want it, right? And that's social condition. So me having the desires is a natural thing, and men or women are kinetically, biologically, binarily different. We're just different. We're not the same. We're not equals. We're not contuent. We are not. The things that makes me happy is different. We're not, because you got these alternative living people. God bless them, right? But we are different.
On that note,
yes, I'll see y'all later.
It was beautiful.
This is good.
Cool.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Let your next move be your best move. Tell everybody where they can find you really quick, 10 seconds. If you have a social media, we're going to wrap this up and we will engage in a group chat to see when we'll reconvene and whether we're going to continue to build off of some of the topics that we spoke about. I hope you guys can be on here on a regular basis or whenever you have time. I know it's getting nice out, so just let me know. I love all you guys. Drop your social, drop your info, and thank you so much for making this conversation the realest that it can get.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Man. I'm official Ron Guest, and I'm Golden Guest on Facebook and official Ron Guest on Instagram. Thank you for the platform. Thank you for having us. You're doing a great job. Continue to keep going.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, thank you, sister. Harlem as Leggett, I believe, both ways. I gotta check the social media and Facebook. My Instagram is really bull crap, so don't follow that. But you want to talk about content and stuff like that, my Facebook is really well.
I'll help you build your content on Instagram. Don't worry. Thank you, Mez. I appreciate you. Toya?
So my business page is the Mom Academy. That's on Instagram. Where we focus on, as I mentioned before, about just empowering moms, getting them to kind of, up their ante, up their game, keeping themselves ahead of the curve. And my personal page is sheblogs_afterbirth, because again, it's about the rebirth of me after I became a mom. And on Facebook, I'm not really on Facebook, but I can be found in Latoya Shante Clark, my entire name. And this was amazing. I really appreciate that opportunity to tap on things that I've been thinking about and just being able to share it with a collaborative of people that are like-minded and understand perspective and respect opinions. This was really, really great. So thank you so much, Destiny, for this platform. And you guys just keep following her. There's so much more to come with this girl's mind right here.
You're awesome. You're bomb. Thank you, Toya. I hope to see you continuously within these conversations. Danae and Pat?
Yes, he doesn't have one, but you catch me on mine. Mine is Miss Jenkins, 1997. You can also follow me on my YouTube channel, which I'm gonna get back up again. It's called Yaya's Family. You can follow my family, my journey. Also look for something coming from me in April. To have something coming up. So yeah. Thanks, Des.
Love you, family. Love you, Brittany. Danae and Pat, I hope you come on next time too.
Yeah, we'll be here.
We won't keep you too long. Ron, Nez, don't disappoint me. All right, Brittany.
I'm here. It's cool.
Sorry, y'all. I'm doing laundry. I was listening though. Next one, Destiny. I'm on here. Everybody, it was really nice meeting y'all. This was a great conversation. We have to finish the other part about the relationships on social media though.
Instagram?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, on Instagram. So especially Instagram, yes.
Follow your Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Oh, Instagram. B_love LUV_foreigns FOREIGNS. Toya, girl, next Sunday, another preacher sermon.
I got you. Thank you. I was just thinking maybe I'm going to talk to Destiny and see if we could get something on about moms. Like, I really feel like if we really treat our homes like we treat a business, like I call being a mother the CEO of life. And if you genuinely look at your home that way, you will be able to organize it differently. Things that you feel like, oh my God, I'm going all over the places because you really haven't sat down and figured out what your day's supposed to look like anyway. Like when you go to work, you get an itinerary, you get what's supposed to be done, how long it's supposed to be done, and you stick to that. It's about really respecting the schedule for yourself. And if you really genuinely look at your life like that as mothers, that a lot of things that we be like, oh my God, I just can't. You'll be like, oh no, I do this. This is me. This is my schedule.
Yeah, you're right. You know, it's cool because someone else asked me. I'm sorry. Someone else asked me. They was like, yo, how do you do it as a single mom? And I'm like, you know, honestly, it's just really prioritizing.
That's it.
Really prioritizing. That's all it is. Like, you see, I'm trying to do podcasts, get Sunday laundry in, make their food, get them ready for school. I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah, but you're doing it. Stop using the word try. Try just an attempt. When you're doing something, you're not trying anything.
You're right. I'm doing it.
So again, language, the way that your mindset, the way that you speak things in existence, right? Like I was telling D before, she's not battling anything. She's conquering it, right? So when we put those things in existence, you put it into your mindset that you know that you are ahead of it, right? My story is so real. Oh my God. But this is why I speak the way I speak. I really try to empower. I'm not trying. I empower mothers in understanding that their position is a lot different and so much more needed than they really know. Right.
Yeah.
And the way you show up, to a job, the way you show up in your home, all of that makes a major difference in your life. It really does. So I can't wait. Thank you so much for just having me on here, Destiny. Seriously, I'm glad you even put me in the chat, and I'm glad I showed up. This was so fun. I know I'm going to talk with her, but we need to do something for mamas.
No, but this is why you're here. And I think this is why each of you were handpicked individually, because you can provide different insight. You all are experts in your own way fields. You know what I mean? And thank you for demonstrating your expertise throughout this conversation, Toya. Definitely CEO of life. I'm taking that. I'm running with it. I usually hashtag queen of the universe because that's what Black mothers and Black women are. We are the queens of this universe. And Jamez's insight, he's just so philosophically inclined, educated. And Ron, he is an artist, which he forgot to mention. Danae and Pat, they are survivors, and we all can come together, each one teach one. This is what the platform is for, to uplift one another and to learn from one another and to support one another the way you just supported Brittany while she's multitasking and doing laundry on this beautiful Sunday, okay?
School in the morning.
Brittany, I wish I could do that. I cannot multitask to save my life.
We're the queens of multitasking. So I love you guys. My babies is up. Give a little cameo with camera.
Hi, boo.
And we love
Auntie Chocolate Man.
and we appreciate you. Next, again, that's your next move. Be your best move.
Next move.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Destiny. Love you. And
Oh.
everybody